Hello, race fans. I'm Wylie Wade, and this is Wylie's Race Report.
Hello, race fans. I'm Wylie Wade, and this is Wylie's Race Report, looking back at the races on June 28th. I'll show you who won in just a couple minutes. But first, I want to tell you about what's coming up on July 19th. We have added a race. We'll have the IMCA Modifieds, IMCA Sport Modifieds, IMCA Stock Cars, Pacific Coast Hobby Stocks, Wagner Sprint Cars, the 600 Micro Sprints, and the Mini Stocks all in the house on July 19th. Whew. And it is going to be Scout Night. That's right, Scout Night. What does that mean? Well, if your youth 12 and under is in the Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, Brownies, Sea Scouts, whatever Scouts, they show up in uniform, they get to get in for free. That's on July 19th. Come on out, Scout Night. Whatever kind of Scout, come on out. 12 and under, get in free if they're in uniform for that event. Coming up on August 1st, our only Friday night race of the 2025 season, it is going to be Youth Sports Night. Doesn't matter if they play soccer, football, baseball, volleyball, cricket, whatever. 12 and under, show up in uniform, they get in for free. That is August 1st, and that is coming up at Antioch Speedway. You don't want to miss it. All right, take a look at who won this past Saturday night at Antioch Speedway for the 10th annual and final Hetrick Memorial. All right, so that's who won, and their finishing positions for everybody on Saturday night, 28th. What a great night of racing it was. I know the night started off a little bit warm, high 90s. Yeah, okay, but by the time you come out for racing starting at 6 o'clock, it's getting comfortable, and into the night, it was a beautiful night of racing and beautiful weather on Saturday night. You miss it if you weren't there. Come on out next time. Next race, July 19th at Antioch Speedway. So on Saturday, before all the racing action kicked off, I had the opportunity to talk with driver of the 11D IMCA Sport Modified, Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner. Take a look. Here with Danny Wagner, driver of the 11D in the, you're a D, right?
Yep.
There is a D there. And driver of the 11D in the IMCA Sport Modified division. You're running all over the place this year and having a lot of success. How's your year going?
It's been pretty good. We started out just taking a break from what we normally do, running dwarf cars, and decided, I'm going to run the sport mod every weekend and kind of see how it goes. I haven't really focused on something else in a long time. Been doing dwarf cars for a while, dabbled in a few other things, but never really focused on it.
You started out here at Antioch many years ago in the mini truck, right?
Yeah, about 2008 in the mini truck.
How did you get started in racing? What brought you to racing?
Just an older family that ran a hobby stock, lived down the street from me, and I was 11 years old, and I just got involved with working on their hobby stock and tried to come as much as I could, and that's kind of how it started.
And got into mini stocks. Where'd you go from there?
On to dwarf cars in 2012.
And you had just a little bit of success there.
Yeah, I had quite a few. quite a few championships and a lot of races in dwarf cars over the years.
Nationals, I mean, last year, the year before, I mean, you were traveling as far as what, Texas and Colorado and New Mexico? And...
Yeah, all over Kansas, all over the United States. I ran Central United States National Series, Western United States National Series. I've ran NorCal dwarf cars, South Bay dwarf cars, Delta dwarf cars at Antioch. I won Antioch's championship in 2013 and 14. Kind of been all over the place with the dwarf cars.
And now you stepped it up and you're not traveling near as much with this thing, at least at this point. Who knows what in the future, right?
Yeah, I just been running around. There's enough races and enough tracks that run them all within, a couple hours, 3-4 hours of home. So you can race every weekend, twice a weekend if you want.
That one year you ran, you had the dwarf car, you had a sprint car you were running, and a modified.
Yeah, that was, I ran a modified from 16 to 2020. And then I ran a 360 in 19 and 20. So I was kind of playing with those and running the dwarf car.
If you could pick one, money's no object, you're not worried about points, you're just going for fun, what are you picking?
Probably modified.
Modified?
Yeah.
That's
not a big sprint car fan. Never really have been. I got an opportunity to run one for someone else, and it was fun to do. They're fast, they're cool, but it's just really not my style.
You did well, though.
I did. I had some good success in it, and not really. If I had to choose, I think modified would be the way to go. If there was more cars in California, that's where I would be.
Right. So, but you're on the sport mods and having some luck. Won last night.
Yeah, I won at Watsonville last night, and we've had a pretty good year running all over the place. I think we're leading points at Watsonville and down in Santa Maria, and the state championship points, which I didn't really set out to do in the beginning, but we just started racing every weekend and didn't really know much about it, to be honest, until everybody was like, hey, are you running for state? And that's kind of where it ended up.
And you kind of got surprised when you got a piece of mail here a few weeks ago.
Yeah, then I got a surprise because I went to Winter Nationals and did pretty well at Winter Nationals, and then was leading national sport mod points. So I got a plaque in the mail that I was completely not aware of.
Last year you went back to Iowa.
Yep, made the big show in Super Nationals in the sport mod, and that's kind of what made me reconsider for this year. When I was just playing with the sport mod, and I was playing with the sport mod last year, running the dwarf car also, but then I went back to Boone, and we made the big show at the Super Nationals, and I was kind of like, well, maybe we're onto something here. Let's try something different this year.
Was that a surprise to you when making it the first year?
For sure. I went there with absolutely no hope and just kind of there to experience it, see it. I've heard nothing, but it's just crazy, and it's the biggest event to see. So I just really went to go check it out, and I'm not going to go there without a car. So I brought the car and found myself in an LCQ and made the transfer out of an LCQ.
And you're heading back this year?
Yeah, that's the plan as of right now, to head back to Boone this year.
Awesome. On the personal side, earlier this year, you got married.
Yeah, that was also this year was kind of a little different. So we got married in April and kept racing. Missed a weekend and kept going.
Great time for your wedding up there in the mountains.
Yep.
But how's married life?
It's the same. Nothing really changed.
Other than her name.
Yeah, her name, but nothing else really changed.
You're still racing every night.
Yep, still racing every weekend and working on cars every night.
What's your long-term goal? Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
I don't really know. I don't.
Not
probably racing.
Yeah.
I don't really know. I'm kind of doing it. Kind of doing whatever we want to do.
Just whatever.
Wherever the wind blows, kind of.
Not a 2-year plan. We're doing this year.
Yeah, this year, and we'll see where next year takes us.
You get a lot of credit from a lot of people. I know Sean Catucci took home a win last night, and he always thanks you because you're not just driving the race cars. You're building race cars. You're helping a lot of different people, especially in the dwarf car ranks. A lot of people really appreciate you for that. Well,
Yeah, I started that kind of like way back in 2011. I kind of started working on dwarf cars, and it just kind of grew. I just offered help and started fixing cars, and now here we are. I'm kind of supply a lot of parts, build a lot of parts, build a lot of cars, work on a lot of cars. I constantly have 2 or 3 other people's cars at my house every week, and we kind of keep the dwarf car scene going. I'll come back in a dwarf car. I'm not done with that. I just wanted to, after 12 years, I wanted to do something a little different.
Right. Well, cool. Who do you want to say thank you to for helping you get out here?
Everybody that helps me week in and week out. Jake, Travis Dutra, my wife, Ellie, all my sponsors, A&J Hauling, Western Mobile Service, Hyperco Springs, Dynamic Drivelines, DeCarlo Race Prep. I'm sure I'm forgetting people, but Riverside Auto Recyclers. There's a whole bunch of people that make this thing go around every weekend.
And I want to point out, while we're sitting here talking, you see in the background Ellie walking back and forth. She's just not walking around. She's actually working on the car.
Yeah, she does a lot. You can't do this by yourself 2 nights, 3 nights every weekend.
Danny Wagner, Captain Chaos, congratulations on a great year so far. Good luck for the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, driver of the 11D Sport Modified. Great chat with Captain Chaos, Danny Wagner, driver of the 11D in the IMCA Sport Modified division. Look forward to having him back on the show in the future. He is right now leading a championship in the state championship standings. Who knows? Is he going to go for it? We'll find out as the season progresses. Again, don't forget, coming up July 19th, very special night, Scout Night. Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts, Girl Scouts, Brownies, She Scouts, whatever kind of scout. Your youth is 12 and under. If they show up in uniform, they get in for free. And on August 1st, it is Youth Sports Night, 12 and under, showing up in uniform, baseball, football, basketball, volleyball, cricket, bowling, whatever. Show up in your uniform on August 1st for Youth Sports Night, 12 and under. Get in free on that night. A couple free nights coming up for the kids and lots of great racing action. Keep an eye on the website, www.raceantiochspeedway. Of course, always right here. Wylie's Race Report on YouTube and Facebook. We'll be back on July 19th. Until next time, I'm Wylie Wade. Thanks for tuning in this episode of Wylie's Race Report. Goodbye, everybody.